This is the dashboard out of my 1932 Plymouth. When I got the car, it looked like this. I cut a piece of plywood the shape of the dashboard, covered it in vinyl and some pipe insulation, and put that in the car until I could get around to rebuilding the dashboard. It was covered with half-inch foam and headliner material. When I stripped all that off, I learned that there was a hole here. I patched that hole. I assume a roll bar had one time gone down through there. It was a perfectly round hole cut in there. And there was rust in this part up here that I also patched and fixed. These edges, where the bottom part of the dashboard had rotted away, were real ragged, and they had cut a piece of plywood and screwed it. You can see where these holes are, where they screwed the piece of, actually it was a piece of 1x6 to create the dash panel down here that they ended up mounting gauges in. So I decided I'd do something a little different. I've got a pattern here. I'm going to cut a piece of sheet metal to fit in there and weld back to there, so I'll get closer to the original. It'll be closer to the original dashboard. And then that leaves me with this sharp edge here that is kind of like a guillotine to your knees. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to take a piece of 3/4 conduit and cut it to the shape of this dash panel, the lower part of this dash panel. I'm going to bend it to the shape of the lower part of the dash panel, and then put a slit in it and slip it up over this edge, slip it right up over the edge, and then weld it in place so I'll have a rounded edge down there on the bottom. First thing I want to do is draw a line down the center of the tube. And then do the same thing on the other side. I'll make the one on this side blue. One of them would be considered top, the other bottom. I'll mark the center of my pattern and some marks out from the center where I want to do my bends. So now I'm just going to mark, this is the center line, this is where a bend will go. I want that to go all the way around the pipe. A bend will go here, and a bend will go here. One here, and one here. Now I'll just scribe those all the way around the pipe. I've marked the conduit at various points along the length of it, and the red line identifies the bottom, the blue line identifies the top. So now what I have to do is put it in the pipe bender and bend according to the lines in the different directions to get that sweep on it that I want to get. So I've got these two bends symmetric, and now what I have to do is bend it in the opposite direction here and here to get a flow on it so that it curves back this way. I'm going to have to elevate it because of the curve in it. I have to lay it this way and bend it back up this way, so I have to elevate it because it won't lay flat on the floor with the curve in it. That looks pretty good. It's somewhat of a symmetric bend. It's a slight arc going down this way and then back up again. It's about 12.5 inches tall from here to here. The original dashboard was 13 inches. I've got it shaped pretty much like I want it. I just need to fine tune it just a little bit. I think I want to bend this right here a little more. It really doesn't take much, because as soon as you feel it bend, you've got more bend in it than you might think. So as soon as I feel it bend, I stop and test fit it again. And it's been a series of bends and test fits. I think I got something there. That's probably as good as I'm going to get it. Okay, there it is. I cut the ends off. I've got it lined up. So now I just have to split the blue seam so that it will slide up over the piece of steel that I will cut from this cardboard template. I started this project back in 2017, so it's been 5 years since I shelved this thing. I put it away hoping to be able to find a piece of sheet metal to fill this in amongst the pile of junk that I had. I never did find one. Somehow this got put aside for other things and I never got back to it. I finally broke down and bought a piece of sheet metal. Since that time, I did cut the slot in this bar and made a new template that includes includes the length it takes to slide down into the bar. So what I'll do now is take this cardboard template and transfer it to the sheet metal and cut it out, and then tack weld everything in place, and then determine what the next step will be. Off camera, I fitted the pieces together and tacked it, put a few tack welds in it to hold it together. You can see my tack welds here. And then this bar, I rolled these edges out so I could kind of blend this and it'll all look like one piece when I'm done. I'll cut a little piece of steel to fill that. And it's only tack welded here and here. It's not welded anywhere else. I can cut those tack welds if I decide, of course, I'm going to keep this bar and continue this plan. I'll tack weld it a few more places in here and get it done solid. So my next step is to just go through here and put some more tacks in here, weld this all the way across the bottom, and then fill these holes up here and decide if I'm going to continue with this. If I'm going to continue with this, I'll put some more tacks on that. And then I'll sandblast it, clean it up, prime it. So I think that's it for now. I'm going to spend the rest of the summer, I guess, working on this thing gradually, a little at a time. I'm not going to take the car off the road until the winter, and then that way, during the winter, I'll take the car off the road and replace the old dashboard with this one. I'll do a video of the finished product and post it. But I think that's all for now. Thanks for watching.